So next up we have just trying to avoid the feedback. So Eddie's going to take Yong Hyun. He's going to take a second to get set up here, and Eddie's going to show you Yong Hyun. Sorry, his office name again. I will say Yong Hyun for this presentation. Yong Hyun, he's the one that's going to be showing you guys all the stuff, what it's like to be an artist at Blizzard Entertainment. He's also got a ton of really cool personal work images he's going to show you. He's spent a good amount of time putting together a nice demo for you guys. And then at the end, he'll show you how he uses the layering system within ZBrush to get the quick iteration and feedback. And Eddie, just open up whenever you're ready, and I'll just keep talking until you're good to go. And the other thing that's pretty cool is in a production environment, your client is usually the art director. So art directors, they have a different vision sometimes than what you have as an artist, so you have to be able to get their vision. And the stuff that Eddie's going to show you is how you can quickly get their vision while also showing what you want to do yourself and be able to get to the ultimate end result goal when you're doing these. Okay, let's give a round of applause for Yong Hyun.
Yeah. Hi everybody. My name is Yong Hyun Kim, and nickname is Eddie. I have been working at Blizzard for 7 years. I started as a modeler, and I'm currently working for surfacing artist. I'm originally from South Korea, where my major in college was architectural engineering. After graduation, it was difficult to get a job. So the alternative to stay at home all day with my mom was go to the internet cafe across the street. And actually my poor mom paid $20 a day to go to the internet cafe to get out of her hair. There I could play video games all day and much of the night with my hometown friends who didn't have jobs either. And Diablo 2 was our game of choice, and we were really good at it, very good at it. And believe it or not, before this, I wasn't really into video games. But it gradually grew on me that this game was amazingly creative and fresh in a way that I never experienced before. So the seed was planted, even though I ended up getting a job as an architectural engineer in Seoul. But my heart wasn't in it, and I quit. And I flew to the US to study 3D animation at the Academy of Art University in San Francisco. And after graduation, I applied for a job at Blizzard. And here I am. And all the money my mother invested in sending me to the internet cafe has paid off. And at school, my main focus was character modeling. And I loved sculpting in a digital way, but also in a traditional way. Let me show you some of my favorite pieces from my time at school and my career so far. So the first slide from my school. This is a life-sized sculpture I used to recreate. This is the same model with a different view, different angle. Yeah, I worked on this for 8 hours a week for 16 weeks. And this is a different life-size sculpture I did at school. like this. The model was my sculpting teacher's hairstylist, and then he had really good proportion and good body, like this. And this is another life-size sculpture I did. An African guy, different angle, and a young lady, and older guy's head. And this is a 3D model I made at school. I used the ZBrush 2 for sculpting. And these are cartoon characters. And this is like a young guy and old guy. And this is the man's muscle study. And now I'm going to show you what I did at Blizzard. This is my first character, I worked on it. And this is Protoss generator character for StarCraft. So many people worked on this character. I made the base mesh, and I sculpted and textured for the whole body except the head. Fausto Di Martini, he worked on the head. It's the same model with different view, different angle. And this is a textured version. And originally Protoss had snake type of the eye structures. But at the time, the Pirates of the Caribbean 2 was coming out, and Davy Jones was very sensational with the octopus tentacles and the human eye. And the eyes made it look so realistic. That was huge inspiration to me. So I changed the eye, I changed it to human eyes, and the director liked it. So different, yeah. And this is Arcturus Manx. It's the main villain guy for StarCraft universe. And I modeled and textured and did a hair grooming. This is the for close-up shot for the head. We want to make an evil guy to give him a strong personality. I made big head and small eyes, big ears, and a very strong jaw, and punched in nose. Profile view. And this is one of the environment pieces I worked on for StarCraft. And I textured the cathedral for Diablo 3 trailers. And this is the Elite Demon for Diablo 3 trailers. This is one of the environment characters. And with the armor sculpted by Vitaly Bulgarov. And this is with the texture. Texture was done by Benjamin Huang. And this is a Hydra list. I textured this. And the first presenter, Kenson Yu, he beautifully modeled and sculpted it. And the mailing, yeah, I modeled and textured it. And Niger Swarm, I textured. And Alvaro Buendia, he sculpted it. And this is the part I modeled and textured. And this is Ultralis. I textured this. The final presenter, Alvaro Buendia, he did an awesome job at doing modeling and sculpting it. Different angle. And I textured radar armor. The Fausto Di Martini, he modeled this marine suit. And this is the last one. I textured siege tank. The modeling was done by Vitaly Bulgarov. And our awesome art director, Jonathan Bruby, he provided an extremely detailed paint over, including all the decals, letters, oil drop, and scratches. From here. And for the close-up shot of the leg, he also provided super detailed paint over. So these are my favorite pieces I picked from my bio. Now I'm going to show you how we create part of some creatures by using ZBrush. And let's start from Leviathan. And this is a final render. This is what it looks like in final renders. And we start with a storyboard, and after that, storyboard. After that, previous artists make the low poly mesh and make previews. This looks really simple, but we get key information about animation and camera angle and speed. And the color script is painted by concept artist or art director. We get information about light and shadow and FX and overall atmosphere. After that, 2D concept artists create a concept for us. And we usually revisit in-game asset. This is an in-game Leviathan asset. And this is iterations. More iterations. And this is the final concept for Leviathan. Then we create the base mesh. And we export this base mesh to ZBrush to add the details. This. Yeah, and this is render with the final displacement. And for Leviathan, we made a couple of one-off assets. And this is a small portion of all Leviathan's outer surface. This is art director's concept. And I made a simple scale block. And I duplicated it. And I deformed by using the Maya lattice deformer. And to export ZBrush, I cut one section and export this to ZBrush. And I sculpted it like this. It's different angle. And we extracted a 32-bit displacement map in ZBrush. And this is a final render with the displacement maps. And after that, before we start texturing, the look development department provides the base library material for skins. This is 5 different skin materials. And this is final textures. And after this, at the end, the map painters add many details, and writers and art director, they did color correction for this shot. And this is what it looks like in final edit. And let me show you veiling. The veiling, it looks like in the shot like this. It's very quick. And for the concept, this is what it looks like in the game. This is a game veiling set. And the concept artist work on this concept. It's more refined than in-game asset. Based on this, we create base mesh, and we sculpted in ZBrush. When I work on this, I started from G-sphere, and after sculpting, I retopoled in ZBrush. So I was able to save a lot of time doing all process in ZBrush. Yeah, I use both actually, but the building base mesh in ZBrush is pretty quick. And after that, I provided this render to art director. And this is the paint over for texture reference. And this is the final textured version. And let me show you ZBrush part. This is what it looks like in final edit. And this is 3D concept and base mesh. And we put baby hydraulics inside 2 big sacks. Yeah, this guy, we put this guy inside the part. And this is the ZBrush sculpting screenshot. The one of the brushes called gravity brushes, it was really useful to show realistic movement. And this is 3D paint over for texture work. And this is final textured version. The different lining. So now I'm going to show you on actual live demo how to use ZBrush to produce layers. The layering in ZBrush is very basic function, but it's really useful and powerful for iterations, for artistic feedbacks. The biggest challenge at work, personally, the biggest challenge and headache at work is getting approval from art directors. They are different people. They have very specific artistic taste. So when I work alone, I often hesitate even one brush stroke because the art director may not like it. So I use the layers a lot, so I can easily reverse back the changes, and I easily slide the volumes, forms, and details. So So this is a Leviathan sculpt. The layers tab is on the geometry tab. You can create new layers by clicking this plus button, or you can rename it. And I pre-made a couple layers. For example, if I slide this layer, like we changed the bottom outline. And if I slide another layer, the lower part become more wide. And this layer is to control the head size. Also in the belly, there are many narrow lines, and to make it wider, I made separate layers. Sometimes, if you want to erase some area, you can use morph brush. To use morph brush, go to morph target and store morph, and go to brushes and press M. Use morph brush. So this morph brush erases the area you don't want. And so this is the end of my talk. I hope my presentation was useful for you guys. Thank you.